Hello everyone, welcome to Cellopedia, this is Maxim. Today we will work on very special exercise by Dotzauer-Klingenberg, number 210. This is a very demanding etude. It will require for you to use all the skills you got so far, playing in the high sixth position, working with the bow, changing the angle of the bow when you move from one string to another. And on top of that, you will be required to use various bowing techniques. Now I will play this etude for you in a fast tempo, then I will share a number of useful tips how to work on this etude, what to pay attention to, and then I will play the same etude through in a slower tempo, quarter note 60. Now, to help you in studying this etude, I will share a few tips. At the very beginning, I would suggest to make sure that you are in the position. Even though first two notes are open strings, it's very important that you prepare this position beforehand. It might make sense even to check it with the open G. After your left hand ready, let's take care of the bow. You will have to start in the middle part of the bow, and you have to remember that bow position on each string is slightly different. You will have to move very quickly from lower to higher strings, and just make sure that you slightly adjust the bow angle. Playing in the middle and upper part of the bow will require you to pay even more attention to your right hand technique. I would suggest when you do that, you need to turn the wrist slightly towards the stick of the bow, this way. It will help you to have a much better contact between the bow and the string. You notice that in the second measure, I used more bow for two slurred notes, and that brought me to the tip of the bow. And then with another slur up bow, I had to go back to the middle part of the bow. You will need to think about bow distribution working on this etude. Otherwise, you will end up playing in random spots of the bow, and then you will get stuck either at the tip of the bow or too close to the frog. Using the left hand in this etude is yet another challenge. It is already hard to play in tune in a sixth position on the top string, but here you have to go from one string to another and play a lot on lower two strings. It's very important to pay attention to the position of your thumb. If your fingers are quite long, you might be okay keeping your thumb somewhere here, as I'm doing playing this etude. However, if you have shorter fingers, it might be very useful to bring your thumb up. I cannot give you advice which will be good for everyone. Just make sure that you pay attention to that, so your thumb is not getting stuck in this position, and then you have very hard time reaching the notes on two lower strings. We have number of spots where you have to quickly go from the lowest string to one of the highest strings. Again, when you do that, make sure that you are not moving the bow like this from string to string, but you are adjusting the bow angle. For example, in the last measure of the first line, you have to go from B flat to D, and you have to do it very quickly while you're moving the bow from string to string, especially in a slow tempo. Pay attention that you are changing the bow angle. By the way, I think that it's okay to use harmonics for some of the notes, especially when you have to make a quick string crossings. Those notes are not marked as harmonics in this etude, but I believe that you are allowed to try it and to see how it works for you. Because I believe the main goal for this etude when you work on string crossings to allow your right hand to go freely from string to string. Every time you have to quickly go from a lower string to much higher string, like from C to D, you will have to learn to adjust the bow angle. And a good example for that is the last measure of the first line. You noticed I started with the angle like this, and then I quickly adjusted the angle to make sure that D and A string will sound clear. You might notice that your left hand is getting tired quicker than usual. I would suggest you not to force it. Once you feel it's tired, give it a few seconds of rest. Playing with pain, it's not our goal, so you can actually train yourself and develop stronger muscles playing this etude with number of breaks. However, when you are playing this etude, you need to make sure that your fingers are active and the string is in a perfect contact with the fingerboard. Since you will be playing most of this etude in the middle or upper part of the bow, you might also feel that this part of your arm from the shoulder is sore. Again, try to play when your right hand is just a little bit sore, but I don't think it is necessary or even useful to play with pain. When your right hand is getting sore, give yourself a short break and then when you get back to playing, pay attention and try to relax, try to adjust your shoulder. Sometimes even moving it a bit lower makes all the difference. All the energy to the string will be delivered with your wrist, with your right hand fingers. It's a very common mistake when we play in the upper part of the bow. We keep the elbow and shoulder in very high tense position. So that will be your work to find the best angle. Once you're familiar with the left hand, it will be time to think about the right hand and make sure that your shoulder and your upper part of your bow arm is relaxed. And now you can play with my recording in the tempo quarter note 60. You don't need to play alone through the whole etude. I would strongly suggest to choose the spot and play it number of times. Or if you have question about bowing or left hand position, you can just watch through that. hard work is always bringing rewards. And I'm sure that you are now rewarded with extra set of skills after you spent all that time working on this etude. I'm very happy for you. Let's keep working. Come back to Cellopedia and we will learn a lot of new and exciting cello music.